Bore da, croeso I cyfarfod diochi chi gyddamdod. Good morning and welcome to today's Rights of Way Committee meeting of Thursday, 20th of July, 2023. Agenda item number 1, apologies for absence. There is none. Everyone's here. Agenda item number 2, declarations of interest. Members are reminded of their personal responsibility to declare any personal and prejudicial interest in respect of matters contained in this agenda in accordance with the provisions of the Local Government and Finance Act relating to Council Tax, the Local Government Act, the Council's Constitution and the Members' Code of Conduct. Are there any members who wish to make a declaration of interest for any of the agenda items being discussed today? Okay, nobody's indicating. Thank you very much. Agenda item number 3, guidance. This is a rights of way information report on a policy used to guide members in their decision making in respect of the upcoming agenda items. Agenda item number 4, Park 3, to consider a report of the Deputy Chief Executive. The report authors are Beth Jones and Garrett Morgan. I believe that Beth will be presenting the report. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions in relation to the report for the removal of the barriers on Park 3?
Yeah, sorry, Beth. Obviously, there's quite contentious issues around removing of the barriers. I see the consultation, it was 21 in favour and 19 against, so it's split pretty much 50-50 on these. Was any extra weight given to the police's input?
The police, when we met them on site, were against removal of any of the barriers from obviously the proposed, what could happen of motorbikes, etc., going down the routes. But the motorbikes are already going down them anyway when the barriers are in place. And the problem we have at the moment with the barriers there is that the legitimate disabled users and people with prams, double buggies can't access the trails. So it's all the vehicle barriers are going to be staying there. So motor vehicles, as in cars, vans, won't be able to get down there, but it will open access for legitimate users at the moment, which are prohibited really because they can't get whether it's their prams, their wheelchairs or whatever through the barriers that are there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Malcolm. Any other members with questions? Councillor David Isaac.
You're saying about the barriers and things. I see what Malcolm's saying about the motorbikes, and I understand the motorbikes travel that area. Is there any way we could improve the barriers and deter the motorbikes? As in, widen them or do something with them that deters motorbikes, but gives that access.
I think the issues that we got with these, if you widen the vehicle barriers anymore, which would deter motorbikes, you're not then meeting the criteria for active travel for as we said, the disabled users and everybody to use the trails. And I think under the legislation, we've looked at the Crime and Disorder Act, haven't we, and the Equality Act. And at the moment, with the way the structure of the barriers are on 3 reports that we're looking at today, the authority aren't meeting our obligations under the Equality Act, I think, isn't it, Gail?
I think what you've actually got is you've got a very fine balancing act, which has been put in the report. I mean, as Malcolm's quite correctly picked up on, there is 21 against, there are 19 for. Beth and I have put within the report the Equalities Act, the Disability Discrimination Act. We've referred to the relevant legislation that needs to be taken into consideration. And the recommendation that Beth has put before you is one to approve the removal of the barriers in these places or to make slight amendments to the definitive map. But it's a matter for you to either accept the recommendation that's before you or not to. It's a balancing exercise.
Thank you, Councillor David Isaac. Councillor Lee Davis.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Yeah, going on from what David said, is there anything, you're coming at it, either keep them or remove them? Can we do something that, like a system where it makes it difficult for bikes, but disabled users can still get past?
The advice we've taken from the engineers, the designs of these have been with the active travel team, and we are on some of the locations. There's going to be some bollards in between. So say that you've got the A-frame and a horse pass, that would be removed, but then there would be maybe a staggered bollard in between, which means the legitimate users would be able to get past. I'm not saying motorbikes won't be able to get through there. Maybe with the quads and etc. They wouldn't be able to get quad access through there or things like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a maze type system where you can still get a wheel, like a swing gate without the gate, but makes it difficult for them. Just putting obstacles. They can probably still do it, but at least it slows them down at that point as well.
Yeah, and on most of them, it has been recommended that a bollard would go in there to slow down as well. So
Okay, thank you.
Like Councillor Lee Davis, any other questions from members? Councillor Malcolm Colvin.
Yeah, well, more of a comment than a question, really, I guess. If a motorbike is determined to get onto the path, they're going to get on the path, whatever barriers we put in their way, aren't they? There's nothing we can physically do to stop them getting onto the track at other points. So I don't know if anybody else has got any questions or comments, but if not, I'd like to propose that we accept the recommendation.
Any other comments? No more questions from members? Any comments from members? No. Okay. It's obviously a contentious issue, but we do get criticised as a local authority a lot for removing access to locations due to a small number of people causing problems, which is not fair on legitimate users. So I am minded to go with the recommendation. I'll pass over to Malcolm Colburn.
Yeah, I'll just propose accepting the recommendation.
And Councillor Malcolm Colburn proposes, Councillor Lee Davis seconds the motion. So we take to the vote then, please. Raise your hands. And that's unanimous. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, thank you very much. Agenda item number 5, Treharris 22, to consider report of the Deputy Chief Executive. The report authors are Beth Jones and Garrett Morgan. I believe that Beth again will be presenting the report.
yeah, thanks, Chair. As the previous report, if you've seen the appendices, it's almost identical to the other one. It's the removal of the horse pass at the side and the staggered barriers there. And on this one again, there's going to be some bollards to prevent quad access, etc., getting through there.
Lovely, thank you, Beth. Any questions from members? Councillor Malcolm Colburn.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, Beth, with relation to these, like I say, they're all very similar. Have we had any discussions with neighbouring local authorities about what they are doing? Because obviously the paths cross the boundaries.
Yeah, I know RCT have done an exercise and they've removed the majority of their barriers on their network. I'm not sure about Caerphilly, but I can find that out.
Councillor Malcolm Colburn.
I was just saying, Malcolm, I don't think we've got any up in Powys. Yeah.
No other questions from members? Any comments from members? No comments from members. So can we have someone to propose, please? Councillor Malcolm Colburn proposes. Seconder. Councillor Lee Davis seconds. Can we take it to the vote then, please? Raise your hands. Lovely, thank you, Mayor. That's unanimous. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, agenda item number 6, Fainworth 39. Consider report of the Deputy Chief Executive. The report authors again are Beth Jones and Garrett Morgan, and I believe that Beth again will be presenting the report.
I feel like I'm just repeating myself here on this. Yeah, Fainworth 39 report, as we said, is almost identical to the one on Park 3. It's the same stretch of the Taff Trail. And again, it's removing the A-frame barrier there. And there are some bollards going to be going in there to prevent quad access, etc., going down there. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you, Beth. Any questions from members? No questions from members. Any comments from members? No comments from members. Would someone like to propose? Councillor Malcolm Colburn proposes. Do we have a seconder? Councillor David Isaac seconds. Can we take to the vote then, please? That's unanimous. That's carried. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, agenda item. Okay, agenda item 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I right? 11, 12, 13, or 14, all information reports. Agenda item number 15, any other business deemed urgent by the chair? I have none. So I now declare this meeting closed. Thank you very much, everyone.